They don't hunt you because you're weak. They hunt you because you carry something powerful within you, something they fear deeply. Think about this carefully. Have you ever wondered why life always seemed tougher for you? Why every challenge you faced hit deeper? Why betrayal felt more personal? Why setbacks always came right when you were about to take off? None of this is accidental. It's not just bad luck. It's something much deeper, something hidden behind the scenes. There's a reason you've always felt a bit different, a bit out of place, even among your own family or closest friends. It's as if there's a puzzle, and everyone else seems to know the pieces, while you're struggling to even see the full picture. You sense it, don't you? That feeling inside that tells you there's more to your story than the struggles you've been facing. Here's the truth. No one has ever told you clearly. Your struggles are not proof of weakness. They are proof of your hidden strength. You've been attacked emotionally, mentally, even spiritually, not because you lack something, but because you have something extraordinary that others desperately want, yet can never possess. Look closely at the patterns in your life. Have you noticed how the most painful betrayals always came from people you trusted deeply? Those wounds weren't random. They were strategic. They happened precisely because hurting you deeply was the only way to slow you down, to make you doubt who you really are. They needed you uncertain, distracted, exhausted. Because when you're unsure of yourself, you become easy to control. And this control isn't obvious. They don't put chains around your wrists anymore. They put doubts in your mind instead. They don't lock you in prisons made of iron. They trap you with fear, anxiety, and self-doubt. They whisper quietly, "You're not enough. Who do you think you are? You'll never make it." They surround you with distractions, filling your mind with noise, confusion, and meaningless entertainment, anything to keep you blind to your own power. Think for a moment about your deepest struggles, the moments when you lost relationships you thought would last forever, those times when everything collapsed just as you were about to rise. Those weren't coincidences, they were intentional. Every obstacle placed before you, every person who turned against you, every painful setback was designed specifically to prevent you from stepping into your true power. But why you? Because you're chosen. You carry something extraordinary, something the world desperately needs but can't replicate. You have a strength, a presence, an energy that draws people toward you, and those who can't create it for themselves will always seek to either take it from you or stop you from using it. Your enemies recognized your potential long before you ever did. They saw something powerful in you from the moment you arrived in this world, something so strong they knew they had to silence it quickly. They didn't attack because you were weak. They attacked because you were dangerous. Dangerous to their plans, dangerous to the illusions they've created to keep everyone asleep and obedient. Think about this. If you had no power, why would anyone spend so much energy trying to break you? Why would they invest years, even decades, into making sure you never discovered who you truly are? It's because your awakening terrifies them more than anything else in this world. You carry within you something that can't be bought, learned, or imitated. It's part of your soul, something you've felt since childhood. A deep intuition, a powerful inner voice, an energy that shifts the room whenever you walk in. Others have noticed it, even if they never admitted it openly. They're drawn to you, fascinated by you, yet threatened by you all at once. And because they can't replicate your power, they choose instead to make you doubt it. How many times have you asked yourself why you're going through these struggles? How often have you wondered why people who should support you are the first ones to pull you down? How many times have you nearly given up because you believed the lie that your struggles meant you weren't worthy or good enough? Listen closely. The truth is exactly the opposite. Your battles aren't proof of your weakness. They're evidence of your immense strength. The pain you feel is your greatest sign that you're walking the path you're meant to follow. This isn't an easy path. It's not a path for everyone. It's reserved for those who are strong enough to withstand pressure, powerful enough to endure isolation, brave enough to face betrayal, and still keep moving forward. So ask yourself now, are you ready to finally accept who you truly are? Are you willing to stop believing the lies designed to hold you back? Are you ready to embrace your power instead of running from it? Because the moment you do, everything changes. The moment you wake up to your true identity, their power over you begins to crumble. But be aware, your awakening won't come without resistance. The closer you get to uncovering your real strength, the more intense their attacks become. They fear nothing more than a chosen one who finally sees the truth. So let me ask you again, can you feel it now, deep inside you, waking up as you hear these words? Every struggle you faced is leading you toward this moment. Every betrayal, every painful experience was preparing you for what comes next. But the question isn't whether you've been chosen. The real question is, are you finally ready to act like it? Think carefully. Have you ever noticed how distractions seem to appear at exactly the moments you're about to achieve something significant? Just when clarity is about to enter your life, confusion floods in, pulling your attention away, keeping your mind busy with trivial things, draining your precious energy. Why do you think that happens? Because distraction is their favorite weapon. See, the greatest battles aren't fought openly on visible battlefields. They're fought silently within your mind, in the quiet corners of your heart, where doubt, fear, and confusion creep in without warning. Your enemies don't need to imprison your body if they can imprison your mind. They don't need physical weapons if they can fill you with self-doubt. The invisible chains they place around your mind are far stronger than any iron shackles. Consider the patterns again. Relationships you invested deeply in, only to find out later they were slowly draining you. People who initially appeared as friends, who listened intently and admired your energy, but who later turned their backs on you when they could no longer control you. None of this was accidental. It was carefully planned. Every false friend, every emotional wound, every moment of isolation had one simple goal: to make you forget who you truly are. And here's what they don't want you to realize. They targeted you precisely because they knew your strength was real. They recognized your power long before you did. Think about history for a moment. Gandhi was attacked repeatedly because his strength was peace. Abraham Lincoln faced endless betrayals because he had the power to change an entire nation. Nelson Mandela was locked away for decades, not because he was weak, but because his strength could transform millions. Powerful souls are always targeted, always tested, and just like them, you've been tested repeatedly. But why? Why do they waste energy trying to stop you? Because the truth is, they fear your potential far more than you've ever imagined. They're terrified of what would happen if you ever fully embraced who you are. They fear the awakening of someone who sees clearly, someone who can no longer be manipulated, distracted, or controlled. So instead, they fill your life with endless distractions. Social media feeds that never stop, mindless entertainment that numbs your senses, drama that keeps you occupied but empty. They convince you that being busy is the same as being productive. They trick you into believing that if you just keep moving, you won't notice how lost you've become. But you're starting to see through this illusion now, aren't you? How many opportunities have you missed because you were too distracted to see them clearly? How many times have you put your dreams aside, convincing yourself that later is a better time to start? How many times have you allowed meaningless things to steal your precious energy you could have used to change your life? They don't want you focused, clear, and powerful. They want you overwhelmed, uncertain, and exhausted. They want you trapped in toxic relationships that drain your spirit and keep you confused. They want you worrying constantly about what others think, because the moment you become secure in yourself, they lose control, and control is exactly what this invisible war is all about. Have you ever asked yourself why the people closest to you sometimes cause you the most pain? Because those wounds are harder to heal, they linger, they slow you down. Strangers can't hurt you deeply enough to keep you stuck, but friends, family, people you trusted, that's different. Those wounds feel personal. They shake your confidence and make you doubt everything about yourself. And that's exactly the point. They've always known that your greatest strength lies in your inner certainty, in your ability to trust your intuition, in your refusal to conform to their rules. So the only way they can stop you is by planting seeds of doubt inside your mind. They whisper quietly, "You're not special. You're just like everyone else." They laugh when you speak your dreams out loud. They tell you to be realistic, to stop, aiming so high to settle for less. And sometimes, sadly, you believe them. But ask yourself right now, if you had no true power, if you were really as ordinary as they claim, why would they spend so much effort trying to break you down? The answer is obvious once you see it clearly. Your existence disrupts their entire system. You threaten the lies they've built their world on. Your voice, your intuition, your energy, they all challenge their carefully crafted illusions. That's why they've worked so hard for so long to keep you distracted, isolated, and uncertain. But something powerful is happening now, isn't it? You can feel it deep within your spirit as you hear these words. You're beginning to recognize their strategies. You're starting to see clearly what they've hidden from you your entire life. And here's the part they fear the most: the moment you truly wake up, the moment you fully realize who you are. Every chain they've placed around you will start to break. Their distractions will lose their power. Their doubts will become meaningless. The attacks that once weakened you will suddenly become the very things that strengthen you. Right now, your enemies are afraid because they sense something shifting inside you. They know their illusions can't hold you much longer. You're about to break free. You're about to remember exactly who you were always meant to be, but let me warn you clearly. This awakening won't be gentle. It won't come without resistance. They're going to increase their attacks, bring even greater distractions, and amplify their attempts to confuse you. Not because they're winning, but because they're terrified. So now ask yourself clearly, can you feel your power waking up? Are you ready to see clearly through their illusions? Because the next step in your journey won't be easy, but it will change everything. You carry a power that can't be taught, bought, or stolen. It's always been inside you, even when you didn't realize it. This isn't something you picked up along the way. It's part of who you are, woven into your very soul. Have you ever wondered why certain people seem instantly drawn to you, yet quickly turn bitter or distant when they can't control you? It's because they crave what naturally flows through you, a light, a strength, a presence that's impossible for them to replicate. Consider your life for a moment. Have you noticed how you effortlessly inspire people, often without even trying? People listen when you speak. They seek your advice, value your insight, and feel calmer simply being around you. Yet strangely, those same people can quickly turn against you, showing resentment, envy, even anger. Why does this happen? Because your power highlights their insecurities. Your strength reveals their weaknesses. Your presence silently challenges them to face truths they aren't ready for. And rather than growing themselves, they choose instead to silence, weaken, or control you. They don't hate you. They envy you. They don't resent your mistakes. They fear your potential. This is the reason you face so many subtle betrayals, painful separations, and unexpected setbacks. The more you stand in your truth, the more uncomfortable you make people who have built their lives on illusion. They see in you something they can't have, something real, authentic, powerful, and free. And rather than learning from you, they'd rather see you fall. Think deeply about this now. How many times have you allowed yourself to be drained by people who never gave anything back? How many relationships have you poured energy into, only to end up exhausted, empty, and confused? Each of those encounters was an attempt, intentional or not, to take from you what they could not generate themselves. But here's the thing they never expected. Every single time they tried to break you, they unknowingly strengthened you. Every betrayal sharpened your intuition. Every abandonment deepened your resilience. Every attempt to control you only made your spirit more independent. The more they took, the more clearly you began to see who deserved your energy and who did. Not understand this clearly. Your energy is your most powerful weapon. Not everyone deserves access to it. The world is filled with people who pretend to support you, not because they genuinely care, but because they secretly want to consume your strength for their own gain. Protecting yourself from these energy drainers is not selfish. It's survival. Look closely at your relationships now. Ask yourself honestly, who empowers you, inspires you, and leaves you stronger than before? And who drains you, leaving you exhausted, confused, or filled with doubt? Your answers reveal everything you need. To know, the right people won't leave you feeling weaker. They won't make you question your worth, your dreams, or your intuition. The right people recharge you, respect your boundaries, and honor your growth. But be warned, as you become clearer, as you begin to protect your power, many will react with hostility. They'll call you selfish, arrogant, or uncaring. They'll accuse you of changing as if growth were something shameful. Recognize this for what it is: fear. They fear losing control over you. They fear your independence, your clarity, your strength. They fear the moment you fully step into who you were always meant to be. Have you noticed something else? Those who criticize you most harshly are often the ones who've benefited the most from your generosity. The people who accuse you of arrogance are usually the ones who've taken advantage of your humility. Don't let their accusations make you doubt yourself. They're simply afraid. Afraid you've finally seen through their manipulation. Afraid you'll no longer be available to feed their insecurities. But here's the powerful truth you need to hear today. You were never meant to live a life catering to those who can't handle your strength. Your path isn't about fitting in, pleasing everyone, or making others comfortable. You were chosen precisely because you're not like everyone else. Your mission is different. Your journey requires you to stand apart. Stop apologizing for being powerful. Stop minimizing your presence to make others comfortable. Your intuition, your strength, your clarity are gifts, not burdens. They are precisely what the world desperately needs, and now it's time to embrace them fully. But know this clearly. Stepping fully into your power won't eliminate challenges. It will attract even more opposition, because the brighter you shine, the more clearly others see their shadows. The louder you speak your truth, the harder they'll try to silence you. Expect resistance, expect misunderstanding, but never again let their discomfort force you back into hiding. Ask yourself now, are you ready to finally honor who you are without apology? Are you prepared to protect your energy fiercely, cutting off anyone who drains your spirit? Because the moment you make this decision, everything changes. The people meant for you will appear clearly, and those who've secretly held you back will lose their grip. Your awakening terrifies them, not because you're weak, but because your strength reveals everything they've desperately tried to hide. You carry a power they cannot replicate, a light they cannot dim, an energy they cannot steal. And as you fully embrace it, the illusions they've built around you start to crumble. Feel that strength rising inside you now. Recognize clearly who you are and what you carry. Your enemies have known your power from the start, but their greatest fear has always been that one day you would discover it yourself. That day is today. But be prepared, because when you finally claim your true identity, when you begin to protect your energy fiercely, something powerful begins to happen. Something that will change not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you. The question isn't if you're ready, it's simply, will you finally step forward? There's something important you must understand clearly. The solitude you've experienced is not a punishment, it's preparation. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much you try to fit in, you always end up feeling separate, misunderstood, or alone? Even surrounded by people, there's a deep inner voice whispering quietly, "You don't belong here." It's because your path demands separation. It requires you to walk alone, at least for a time, to discover who you truly are beneath everyone else's expectations. This loneliness, though painful, has a powerful purpose. It's not meant to break you, it's meant to refine you. Just like gold is purified by fire, your spirit is purified by solitude. Think deeply about this. Where are the people who started this journey with you? Those who promised they'd always be by your side, where are they now? Gone. Not because you're unworthy, but because your elevation demanded their removal. Every time someone left your life, it wasn't rejection, it was protection. The universe was protecting you from people who couldn't handle the heights you're destined to reach. Look at history again for guidance. Oprah faced rejection countless times before her voice changed millions of lives. Steve Jobs was pushed out of the very company he created before he reshaped the entire world. Even Einstein was isolated, misunderstood, and underestimated before changing humanity's understanding of reality. Do you see the pattern clearly now? Greatness requires periods of isolation. Loneliness isn't your enemy, it's your proving ground. Understand this clearly. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Not everyone has the strength, resilience, or vision to travel your path. People fall away, not because they dislike you, but because your purpose demands something more from you, something deeper, something greater than they can understand or support. But there's something else waiting on the other side of this solitude, something powerful. Once you accept that your journey requires temporary isolation, you'll begin attracting others who share your clarity, your purpose, and your strength. The moment you stop desperately seeking acceptance from people who can't handle your growth, you make space for those who genuinely align with your mission. They'll find you, but not in the places you've outgrown. They'll meet you at higher levels, where your purpose is clear and your energy protected. Until then, accept the solitude for what it is, your sacred training ground. This is where you become unstoppable, unshakable, and truly powerful. But know this clearly: the moment you fully embrace your solitude, your enemies become desperate. Because they realize something terrifying: their control over you is fading. They'll try everything to pull you back down into doubt, confusion, and fear. They'll question your intentions, accuse you of arrogance, even shame you for daring to stand alone. But here's your true test. Will you allow their opinions to stop you, or will you recognize their criticism for what it really is? Fear disguised as advice. Remember, a lion doesn't seek permission to roar, and you don't need approval to embrace your destiny. Your entire life has prepared you for this exact moment. Every betrayal, every setback, every lonely night spent questioning your worth, all were carefully designed to strengthen you for what's coming next. You were never meant to remain hidden. You were chosen precisely because you're different, precisely because you have something powerful to offer. Feel that clarity awakening inside you now. It's your soul finally speaking loudly enough for you to hear clearly. It's your intuition guiding you toward your true mission, away from distractions, doubts, and meaningless connections. You are ready, even if you don't feel fully prepared. The greatest warriors never feel completely ready before they step onto the battlefield, but they fight anyway. Now it's your turn. No more excuses, no more waiting for validation, no more hesitating because of fear or doubt. The world doesn't need your hesitation. It desperately needs your courage. It needs you to finally step forward into your power, into your purpose, into who you were always meant to be. The choice is yours now, clearer than ever before. You can stay small, hidden, waiting for someone else to give you permission, or you can rise powerfully, boldly, without apology. You can embrace the solitude, knowing it's preparing you for the greatness ahead. You can finally accept that being chosen isn't a burden, it's your greatest gift. So now the only question left is simple, yet powerful enough to change everything. Are you ready to rise? If this message resonated deeply within your soul, then you already know the answer. Don't hold back. Click like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below sharing your truth. Your voice matters. Your awakening inspires others. Together, we are unstoppable.